for the Vectoria Design Kit I'm a Writer, we are now doing the Journal on the Go. Which is going to be crafting on the go because it's pretty much 1, 2, 3. And, then you decorate and that just takes forever. But anyhow, so the kit I'm working with is the I'm a Writer kit. And in that kit, other than all the backgrounds and all the pages for journal, there's also the mini little journal. And I thought I'm totally making something for that. So I printed them. I didn't print front and back. I printed them just printed. And then for the back, I used one of the background, which is like a coffee dye. And I put it on a low density setting. So it's pretty light so you can write on it. Okay. And I printed it on this paper, bold digital paper. Okay. That's what I did. So once you've done that, of course, you cut them all. And what I did when I put them all together is I ended up with 3 little booklets of 16 pages, right? Because there's 8 pages per booklet and so on and so on. I mean, take your adding machine and figure it all out, but that's what it comes out to. Okay, so I put them, one next to the other, so I got the background on one side and the print on the other side. The only difference is for the middle, I put the double page the other way around, like so. On this one, for example, you see, it should have been like this. And what I did, I flipped the middle one and I put it with a print on, because see, that will be the middle of the little signature. And I did that for the 3 of them, like so. And then on this side, of course, I have, 2 background pages. But you can write even more, right? Okay, so I got the 3 little booklet. They're all done, they're all cut. We do that and we put them on the side. Like so. Then we doing what is gonna hold our little booklet. So I do have everything written down somewhere. Let's not worry when it's not time to worry. I'm using the same thing that I used for the previous project, which is Craft Cardstock 12 by 12 and the 8.5 by 11. Dimension in centimeters are right here. You can take a screenshot. This is what I am using. Now, for the cutting of the cardstock, we do have the following. You're gonna need one piece, which is gonna be 10.5 long inches, which is 26.8 centimeters by 6 inches high, which is 15.5 centimeters. You are gonna need 2 pieces who are gonna be 6 inches high, the same than that, but they're gonna be 1 3/4 wide, which is 4.5 centimeters. You're gonna need 3 pieces like this, which are gonna be 7.5 long, which is 17.7 centimeters by 5.5 high, which is 14 centimeters. You need 3 of those. And you're also gonna need 1 piece, which is gonna be 2.5 inches wide, 6.5 centimeters by 5 7/8, which is gonna be 14.9 centimeters. I'm pretty sure you can round it to 15, but you know how that works, right? Okay, so if you want to take a screenshot of that. All right, there's some scoring to do on the big piece, this one, but we're gonna do it together, okay? So there is this, and then there's the extra piece, this one, Okay, but as we go along, we're just gonna reiterate what we're doing. So this long piece, I'm gonna take this here. You are gonna take a scoreboard and you're gonna have to score at 2 inches, which is 5 centimeters. It's not that I'm so good at that, it's just because it's written right here. Then you're gonna score at, okay, from there, you're gonna score 4 1/4, right? So it's gonna be 1, 2, 3, 4 1/4. And then you should have 1, 2, 3, 4 1/4 on the other side. So that will make your scoring at 6 1/4. All right, 2 inches and 6 1/4. Take my word for it, this is what it is. We sure hope so, right? Now, on that score line, we're gonna do 1/8 of an inch on both sides. Okay, because we're gonna have a fold in the middle, but then this way give us some wiggle room. Now, the 2 inches right here, okay, you can move your paper, right? It would be good to score it 1/8 of an inch for, like, let's say for 3/4 inches. So 1, 2, 3, 3/4 inch, right? And then from there, score every 1/8 of an inch. So that gives you something like this, right? You can see that. Yes. Okay. It's got those little lines right there. All right. So that's what you do with that. Now, those pieces, you are gonna score right in the middle. So that is 7 inches wide, right? And you have 3 of those. You are gonna score at right in the middle. Did I figure out what the middle was? Was 3 1/2 because it's 7 inches, duh. Okay, so right in the middle, and then 1/8 of an inch on both sides. All right, and in centimeters, hold on, now we cannot forget our metric friends here. That will be at about, the middle will be about at 9 centimeters, because 17.7, that's almost like 18, right? Anyway, just if you're not sure, fold it in half. This is what you have. And then add up a score line on both sides, right? Cannot be any easier than that. So you need 3 of those. So what I did is I rounded them up, every single one of them, and I edge them. And they should be somewhere here. All right, so I got my 2 pieces here. I rounded them and edged them. Okay, I got this piece right here. Now this piece, that is the 2 1/2. You round only, because it's gonna be like a pocket, right? So you only round on, if you round on the outside of it. Yes, and the outside will be on the right. I mean, if you put it on the left, you just flip it over. Now, this one, I get to round like so. Okay, those, we are gonna, round them up. I mean, round them so they're nice and round. Just play with it until it has some kind of a curve. Yes? Yes. Now this one we're folding on the middle score line. So we get to find the middle score line, like so. And you should have a score line on each side, like this. This is what you have right now. Now, in order to be able to continue making it, there's a lot that we're gonna be able to, hold on, let me show you too. This piece right there, which is, I'm pretty sure you guessed the cover of your little booklet, right? Which is the piece which is 7 inches wide, by 5.5. You're gonna fold on the middle score line as well. So you do have a score line on both sides, right? And then you round them up and edge them. So I already have those done right here, right? And that's gonna be the cover of your little booklet. So you can do this, you can do this, and you can do that, and then put them on the side. Those you put on the side. This, we don't need that anymore. Now there is this, we get to edge, I have to edge. But now, this is the thing, you are gonna have to rummage through whatever you decided that maybe you're gonna use. I already picked a few of the background from the kit of full-size printout, because this side right here, and so hold on, let me do it. And this side right here have to be matted before we can keep going. So you get to pick some kind of, whatever you're gonna mat that with, it has to be done before we keep on going. Okay, this side and this side. So we do all of that and then we just assemble. All right, so I covered this inside here and this outside here. I used one of the background and then I used a misprint page that I had because I really like, I don't know, this handwriting and everything. Now the thing is, there's two of those, right? Those two strips, the 1 3/4 strips, they are gonna go on top of it. Okay, so just keep that in mind when you put your background, that is not, you know, like you put a pretty lady here and then you just cover it. So just saying, right? So this and that. Now, in order to do what we want to do, you are going to trace a line at 3/4 of an inch from the end of your booklet. 3/4 of an inch. It's about 2 centimeters, right? And you're gonna trace a line right there, right? Then you're gonna take this little guy here that you just edge and everything. If you want to cover it, cover it. I think I'm just gonna put some embellishment on it, so that's why it's plain, right? You are gonna go down about 1/8 of an inch, which I know that's not that much, but this is what we're doing. So 1/8 of an inch on both sides, like this, okay? And then you're gonna trace a line. Now 1/8 of an inch, it cannot be too many millimeters, let me tell you. It's gonna be like 3 millimeters, right? And then you're gonna trace your line kind of straight. I mean, you can, yes. So 1/8 of an inch, and then you trace your line. Okay? Then you're gonna go 1/4 inch from both sides, and then you're gonna make a little mark right there. 1/4 inch. Yes, make a little dot. 1/4 inch is like a 1/2 centimeter, right? And 1/4 inch, and you make a little mark there. Now, you're gonna take, I know we're doing one, we're gonna do the other one, but we're gonna so cheat and just put it on the top, and you see what I'm talking about. We're gonna take the pokey book, and then you're gonna poke on those 2 dots that you made, okay? Not a gigantic thing, all right? Just poke, okay, on this side and then on that side, right? And now, keep that handy. You erase your pencil. All right, so make sure, you know, you get little holes, right? On both sides. And now what you're gonna do is you're gonna take the other one, put it on the top of this one because they should be identical, right? And then you're gonna poke again. So this way you don't have to measure nothing at all. And we can sure do with that. Okay, make sure they're nice and together. Okay, so now you have those two with the little holes, right? Now, you take one of them, keep your pokey book, you line it up on your mark that you made right there at 3/4 of an inch. You make sure your top and bottom are together. You lined up on that line, yes, and you poke again. Top and bottom. All right, so now, and then you erase this. So now we have everything poked at the same spot, allegedly. Let's put it this way. We sure hope so, right? Right. Okay, now we erase any kind of pencil thing we have, right? And then we are gonna thread those two things together on both sides, like so. Yes? How's that sound? Cool? Cool. Okay, we need the needle and thread. All right, so you have your needle and your thread. You have your two little strips. We are gonna tie in the front. The front is gonna be this one here, okay? You get your little wiggly thing here, right? This is what I'm gonna call the back. This is what I'm gonna call the front. So I go from the front, I put, like, which way? This way, that way, this way. I'm gonna put my first strip, right? Goes through it, like so. Go on the other side, like so. Right? I'm gonna leave a bunch, okay, so we can tie it up. I'm gonna take the second strip, put it in whichever way you decided that it will be. Okay, so this is where we got right now. We're gonna go from here, here we go, to here, to here, and come back up, maybe. Okay, so this is where you have, right? It's here, it's in the front, and we're gonna tie it. Now, I'm gonna leave some thread out because maybe we make a bow, maybe we put a little charms, or, you know, whatever you guys want to do with that, right? And then we tie it, like nice and snug. I'm using wax thread, but you can use, you know, whatever you have that you like, right? All right, it is nice and snug and tight. Okay, and cut. All right, and now we're doing the other side. So I get to start from here to here to there. Okay, and then, you know, hold your thread on this side, and then you go the other way around, just the same that you did. And it's not that hard because you can actually move it around to find the holes. But if you're lined up, there should be, you know, you should just do it. Let's just do it. All right, and then you tied it up. It's easier to have a nice snug tie if you go in the side than if you stay in the middle. Then you can always, you know, once it's done, you can always slide it and move it in the middle if you want to. Okay? Like this, right? Okay, so this is what you have. Now, don't lose your thread and don't lose your needle because we're gonna have to sew our little booklet. Before you sew your booklet, see, mine are not sewn yet. Make sure that your booklet fits nice and snug in here, right? Like so. Because if for some reason your holes are too low, you don't have enough room, okay, you still have some wiggle room with the cover to adjust and, just adjust, cut a little bit here, a little bit there if it doesn't fit in. But it should fit in perfectly. And this is what's going to hold our little booklet inside that little journal on the go. Right? And this will go in here, but we still gonna have to work on that because we're gonna have to cut a little bit on this side here. But this is where we at. So now we're gonna have to sew our booklets, which means if you want to cover, put a background, or cover the front, the top, whichever you want to do on your booklet, go right ahead, and then we sew the booklets. Find a background for this part as well, because we are going to put, this is the last piece of the puzzle, we are going to put a pocket right here. So if you want to find a background to put here, and also if you want to find something to put in the back of your journal on the go. All right? Okay then. So let's find all kind of background and decoration and things for our covers. We'll sew one booklet together. The other one I'm pretty sure you can do. Okay? And then we'll be kind of like all done. Okay? Okay, so we're sewing the little booklet. All right? Of course, I went ahead and already sewed them and all of that. But at least I kept one to do with you. All right? So open it in the middle, put it about in the middle of your booklet. Yes, clip it on both sides, like so. Make sure your booklet is folded on the middle fold, right? Because that's where your seam is gonna be, okay? Take your pokey book, take your pokey. Before you do that, you kind of measure a little bit so you know what you're doing. So you go from the booklet, not the top, from the booklet, a 1/2 inch down. You put a little round mark. 1/2 inch is 1 centimeter. Same thing on the other side. 1/2 inch, and then you figure out the middle of your booklet and you put a mark right there. I know you can figure out the middle of your booklet, okay? So you make sure you press it down, that crease right there, and you fold it on the middle fold. Yes, yes. You put it inside your book like you almost close, okay? So it stays exactly right. Take your pokey and you poke. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, and last one here. All right, take your needle and your thread. I'm using the wax thread. You take about 3 times the height of your book. The only difference with what is usually done is I'm gonna start from the outside. All right, and I'm gonna hold the thread with my finger here. I go up. Then you go back to the middle. You tighten it a little bit, go back out. Okay. And now you go under this one here, like so. And then you make a knot, and just to make sure, you make another one. Done. I still don't know exactly what I'm gonna do with those things, so I just leave them like that. And your little booklet is done. All right, I decorated the front, the inside, here, there. So I got this one. I put a little tag here, put a little tag there. I use some background. I use some of, misprint that I had that I didn't print the right way. All those things happen, right? But I figure, I'm just totally gonna use them. So that, anyway, all right, those are my booklet. 1, 2, 3. Yes, we put them on the side. We're taking our journal on the go. All right, I still have some things to decide. I went into embellishment and oh my gosh, there's so many of them. And I think I practically cut them all, but it's just like, you know, I don't know what to choose to this point. I still don't know exactly what to choose for something else. Anyway, so this is how this is looking at this point. We were left here. I put a background here, background there. I put a cover here. And I put back here. I put a pen because I love those pens. And that's the back here, right? With the little flippy here. Now, the string we had left, I still don't know exactly what I'm going to do with this one. But with this one, I cut one of the embellishment that I put on cardstock. It's a little ink bottle, right? I mean, there's a pen, it's appropriate. And I tied it with the string that I had on the top. And there's a reason for that. So if you want to see up to the end, and then you can decide, for a while I wanted maybe to use this. There's so many embellishments, it takes me forever to figure out what I want to do. Anyway, so right now we're having the pocket. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do 1 and 2. Sorry for the noise, because you just have to just be so strong with those machines. Okay, I need my... So that's going to be my pocket. I'm going to put it right there. We're going to put some little gussets on the side, because if we get pocket, might as well being able to put things on it. So that's little accordion, right, on coffee dye paper, right? And we're just going to glue that on the side. I'm going to put them on the... Okay, we did that for the paper keeper. So if you did the paper keeper, you should be good. All right, glue, glue, glue. I'm just going to briefly do that, because if you want to put something on the top of that pocket, you have to do it before you actually glue it down. And at this stage, I don't know if I'm going to put something or not. This goes on the outside side, right? So all right, then you line it up nice with your edge. Okay, so there is this, okay, and this is gonna go right there. You're gonna line it up with your first score line right here. See, those score lines are very useful, because at least you know what you're doing eventually, right? And then you line up here and you got your pocket. Now, this is the thing. If you want to put brads, if you want to put decoration, whatever, do that before you glue it in, right? I didn't do that yet, because I still don't know yet. Now, the closure. So this is going to close. Okay, let me show you how that works, right? So you take your little journal on the go. You slide it in here, right? Then you close it like so and like so. Now this, we're going to have to round up. We're going to do that right now. So it goes under this, yes? And then you see the use for that, like in a second. In order to do that, here, let's take the book out. Okay, now everybody's going to be different, but it's still going to be about the same. Right? You're gonna overlap right here. Now, you have your thread right here, so this is why it cannot go in, okay? So you have to figure out how long this is. And on this side, you need to make a mark at 1 inch, about, okay? 1 inch. And on this here, so you have a 1/2 inch here, and you have 1 inch here. So that's, here is gonna be 2.5, and here is gonna be centimeters now. 1 centimeter on this side. Then you take a rounding thing, like anything round that you have, right? And you're gonna join those 2 points, like so. Okay, same thing on the other side. and it's scissors right here. Okay, and then you round it up from that mark, right? And then you follow like so, make it like right, not too sharp of a. And then we see what happened, if it comes in or not or what. Okay, and then that should go. I mean, it is gonna supple, I promise to you. Okay. All right, now let's not forget you're gonna have the thickness of things, which is gonna be the booklet here, and then you're gonna have things in your pocket. So let's say, you know, take another booklet. So let's say you put a whole bunch of paper in there. Right, and now we see where we go. I think this is good. I think those are the good dimension. Now, what you're gonna do is, of course, you're gonna erase here and there, okay? Because you don't want anything here. Now this here, right? That little dangling embellishment that you put on cardstock, whichever one it is, you're gonna use it as a safety, which means if you're gonna put it in here, it's just gonna lock your top in. It's gonna add a thickness to it, right? And then this way, it is not gonna pop out. I think that's pretty clever. Anyway, and then look, it's a pen and it's the ink. So I think that's pretty cool. Now, my advice to you is, as much as you can decorate here, I will not decorate here because it's not gonna stay, because it's gonna rub every time you put it in. See? I mean, it does hold without this, but I think that was like, why not, right? And this is the back. So pretty much next part is gonna be flip through, because I'm gonna finish decorating what I'm doing. So you have your little journal on the go, like so, and you have your two little refill. So when you're done with this one, you replace with that one. Yes? Yes. All right, I'm gonna finish decorating, you finish decorating, and then we meet up again.